Hey guys, John Gardner here. It's Tuesday, September 1st. Late. It's about 10 o'clock. And I just wanted to share a couple of thoughts here. I had a tough night last night. I got a flat tire at about midnight. Stranded on Interstate 280. Tire is completely shot. I had to get the car towed, and had to get the car to the tire store today, and spent $1,000 on 4 new tires because they all needed to be replaced. And times are tight for everybody. It's not like I had. I didn't want to spend that kind of money, but I had to. Anyway, I guess what I'm reflecting on is, as I was reflecting on the day and situations with the world and my personal life and my business life and so on, and my finances, I started to get down a little bit, and then I realized, first of all, that's ridiculous. Because I'm healthy and I'm alive. I had that flat tire on a highway. It could have ended a lot worse than it did. I ended up just pulling off to the side of the road, no problem. California Highway Patrol came by a little later, and the tow truck came by. AAA took care of me. It was all fine. I got to bed late, but I was fine. I took a shower and went to bed. Could have been way worse. And this morning, I did my research trying to find the right kind of tires, and I just, decided to buy the kind of tires that I really wanted for my car, because they're quiet and they're fuel efficient, and that's important to me. And they were a little more expensive, and I spent the money, and they got it done, in the afternoon, right? And I just, from a cold start, they got the tires from San Jose and they brought them up to Redwood City, and so it's not like anything bad happened. In fact, everything that could have happened to support me happened. And it dawned on me as I was, getting ready for bed tonight, how powerful my interior emotional landscape is to my sense of well-being. I'm normally a pretty positive guy. You guys know that. I'm a pretty positive guy. I like to laugh. I like to have fun. But like everybody, circumstances get heavy every once in a while, and you're like, But there I was brushing my teeth, and I thought to myself, tough day, long night last night, tough day today. And then I thought to myself, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. You had a good day. You had a good night. You had a good day. The only thing that prevents you from feeling that is your perspective. Now, everything that I've talked about is a first world problem. And yet, the emotional landscape is very sensitive. And it's sensitive to the way the ego frames and processes circumstance and experience. So, we're all, these are trying times. I mean, we don't know what's going to happen. There's all kinds of weird stuff going on. Thank God the moon finally turned silver, because when it was rising, it was red. It was blood red. I'm like, this is biblical stuff going on, like, holy cow. And that's part of it too, right? And it's like we're all feeling like, many of us are feeling like times are turbulent and frightening and biblical, certainly historic. And so it's easy to get despondent and despairing when that's what's going on. When we're confronted with times that are this challenging. Single mother, got a couple of kids at home, trying to work a job where she's got to be on site, but also needs to homeschool her kids. Like, your head's going to explode. That's just one example of a million. So, here's the thing. It's not going to be like it was. Maybe someday in the future it'll be kind of like what it was, but everything changes anyway, right? Like, we're moving forward in time, trying to hold on to a way of framing our experience, or a way of framing our expectations. Maybe that's more accurate. A way of framing our expectations based on how things used to be is bound to be more stressful than being in the moment, addressing ourselves to the circumstances at hand, and choosing to embrace them, because that's what's here. I have this little saying: stay present to what is, say yes to what's being offered. Why? Well, we stay present to what is so that we can have an accurate read on what's happening, right? Instead of being in our heads about what's going on and what should be going on and what shouldn't be going on. In the moment, in this moment, staying present to what is right now helps us actually be grounded in reality, right? Like, never mind what you think, this is what is, right? So stay present to that so that you can receive it, understand it, and process it accurately, as opposed to through some filter of delusion. No, that's pretty hard to do because we all have filters, but still, that's the intention. The intention of the statement is to be present to the reality of the moment. And then the say yes to what's being offered thing. I want to be careful not to be misinterpreted to surrender to what's being offered, or acquiesce to things that are to injustice or things like that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying say yes to what's being offered, because that is the material that you have to work with. Those are the energies that are flowing in the moment, right? That's what you have access to. So rather than resisting or pushing away the circumstances of the moment and the energies that are swirling around and creating the circumstances of the moment, we can say, okay, I get that. Now, if I'm staying present to what is, I can get a bead on all that stuff. And then if I say yes, I can begin to harness those things. I can try to figure out how to use those things to co-create the reality that I want. And this is better than the alternative, because the alternative is to be without those resources, whatever they are. Better to use the resources, better to use the momentum and use the flow of energy than to deny it and reject it. Because even if you want to change the course of the river, if you use the power of the river, you're better off than if you're fighting the power of the river. So the clever applicant of one's desire, right? If you're going to cleverly apply your consciousness to create the environment that you want, use what's at your disposal, and use those energies to help craft what you want. But you can't do that, at least I know it's hard for me, if I'm despairing and feeling like I had a bad day. When in reality, I didn't have a bad day. Right? So the choices that we make inside are going to very profoundly impact the choices that we think we have at our disposal on the outside. So I think that's what I wanted to share. I didn't have a bad day at all. I hope you had a good day too. I'm John Gardner. Thanks for listening.